It's Coffee Break, episode 130.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of announcements this week.
Yeah, I don't really have video game news. You have one thing you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Which is kind of a bummer, but there was a lot of movie stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Which, cool. I'm going to start with this because I just found out this.
What?
Marvel's Blade
Uh-huh.
just lost its second director.
Oh, no. It's already been struggling to do. Why?
An insider... Well, apparently they just didn't agree with each other, Marvel and the director.
Ugh.
They said it was amicable?
Amicable?
Amicable.
What does that mean?
That might be the wrong word. The way I understood it, the way the word was used, is that they both agreed just to move on.
That's so disappointing, though. Because that also means a lot more money and time.
Well, they're still writing the script. They're trying to get the script just right. They've already had 4 different writers.
Oof.
Mahershala Ali is still going to be Blade, supposedly. And the studio is looking to make a great Blade film, not a Blade film that they could just throw out there.
I mean,
So luckily we won't get Blade Trinity, but we don't get Blade. We still have Blade Trinity.
It doesn't look good so far. When a million people are coming and going on a project, usually that spells doom.
Yes, and then the other weird thing is that Blade was announced it was announced in 2019.
Yeah.
It's been 5 years.
And they're still trying to write it?
Mm-hmm.
It's been...
They can't find a director. Here's my thing. I'm going to put up a poll for this one. Do we think Blade will ever get made?
I'm going to say no.
I'm going to have 2 different polls, and that's going to be one of them. I'm just curious what everyone's thoughts are. Because, I mean, I'm surprised if we actually will get a Fantastic Four.
I don't. The future of Marvel is so shaky, and I don't expect any of it to really work out.
Which was funny. I was reading. I don't know how true this is because it was Twitter, X, whatever. It was about Jonathan Majors is going to accept an award soon, and the award is for overcoming difficulties as an actor.
Jeez.
And I was like,
No, don't do that. The difficulties was being abusive.
Yeah. So, on to the real coffee break. The Batman Part 1 and Part 2 have been rumored to be filming back-to-back.
You mean parts 2 and 3?
Sorry. Parts 2 and 3 are rumored to be filming back-to-back next year.
Okay.
For their 2016 release. Part 2, right? James Gunn has come forth and said Warner Brothers has not greenlit Part 3. This is not happening. We're still going to be working on 2. There's also another rumor, it's more of an insider thing, but that the scripts are being based on or inspired by Jeff Johns' Batman Earth 1 series.
Is this the thing you were looking up the other day?
Yeah, once I found that out, I was reading all about it.
Yeah.
I read the whole synopsis of plot of the entire 3 volumes it was. Super fun and interesting. Pretty much ends with him getting ready to fight the Joker, having already established Batman, Gotham, and the Bat family. Mm-hmm. But it's really just an origin story of his. Which makes sense that they... if they made a Batman Joker film... It's like there's so many of them already.
Yeah, on one hand, it's like there's so many of Batman and Joker. And on the other hand, I'm like, it's also kind of been a while.
Yes, and these 2 guys, it would be fun to watch them go at it. Because they play their characters so well.
Yeah.
But it would also make sense that they don't. And they just tease it at the end. There's another rumor that Hush will be the villain of the 3rd film.
Yeah.
And if you don't know who that is, go look that one up. It's also an animated movie.
That one's interesting. That one's super interesting.
Yes. The Penguin, we know, will be released on Max this September. They did not give us an exact date.
Wow, there's no trailer still. I mean, I guess they're
There's
waiting.
trailers.
I mean, it's been a while,
There's
hasn't
a trailer to come join Max so you can watch a show that's not there.
Capitalism.
Yeah. Another funny thing about Max is J.R.R. Martin
Uh-huh. Sorry, the guy who did
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So the show, the spin-off show that didn't make it was called 10,000 Sales.
Okay.
That's based on one of the short stories he wrote. It didn't work out. They killed it, and then they went on to do what's the new one?
House of Dragon.
House of Dragon.
Yeah.
Now he's talking about how they're reviving it, and they have an Emmy award-winning producer with him, and he's gonna work with him. They're gonna make this thing happen.
Which one? The 10,000 Sales one?
Yeah, 10,000 Sales. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're supposed to make a show about Aegon.
Yeah, that's still also in the works.
And the Hedge Knight.
Uh-huh.
Now you got this. The Jon Snow show got killed.
He's never gonna finish this book at this rate.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, this guy, he's got too much going on, and he's not finishing his work.
I get it. I get, like, the thing he's been working on for so long is now one of the most popular pop culture things in the world right now.
Yes.
That's so intoxicating to want to see it play out in every way that you can imagine. Why bother finishing the story when you're having so much fun seeing it done in a new way? And also, the scary thing is, what happens if he finishes the story and no one likes it, and then that just kills the hype for all these other spin-offs he's trying to do?
What if he dies and he never finished the story?
That is the question.
That's what I'm looking at, because I'm like, I think what he's doing here is he's shying away from the actual ending, and he's trying to build, I guess, an estate for his family for when he passes.
Yeah.
Because then they'll be fine. They'll never have to worry about anything.
Mm-hmm.
And his name will go down as one of the greatest fiction writers of all time.
Yeah. I mean, he has said that he doesn't know how he wants it to end.
That's great. You and Oda can sit down in a room and figure that out together, but we all want to know what the actual ending is.
The last excuse I heard from him was he's like, I just realized I should have kept a certain character alive, and they would have tied it all together. And I'm like, bummeroni, dude. You still wrote the story. You still got to do something with the ending. You had an idea of how it would go.
Well, how can you say something that dumb and naive about your own story when you literally killed off one of the main characters and brought him back?
Yeah, you could bring him back. You could bring anybody back. It's your story.
Yeah.
God's whatever, magic, anything.
That was never explained, that there is a true God.
Yeah,
But no one else recognizes them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you need a whole thing to explain, it's dedicate like 7 chapters of the book explaining the how and why of how this person comes back. Like, it's so... You can do whatever you want. That's the fun of writing, is that there are no rules. Is your lighter dead?
Yeah.
Dang. Again?
So yeah, I just can't believe he keeps announcing spin-offs, and it's like, dude, just finish it. We all know you're gonna go write Elden Ring 2 or whatever.
Right.
Elden Ring, that's another thing. They're like, oh, you have to beat a side boss in order to play the DLC. And statistically, it's like 66% of the players never actually beat this boss.
Great.
And I was like, 60%, I'm one of that 66%. And the thing is, I don't like the game.
Yeah, it's not... I don't like games that just make you angry.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Yeah, not my thing either. Star Wars, the new Jedi Order film with Rey.
Yeah.
It's been rumored to be... There's a lot of rumors going around right now.
A lot of rumors.
To be a trilogy, the new trilogy, right?
Hell yeah.
Daisy Ridley, who plays Rey, said, no, I only signed on for one film. There's a potential for more, but right now it's just a standalone film.
I think maybe it's a better idea to like plan for one good one rather than stretch it out for 3. This idea of 3 that might or might not end up working out.
Mm-hmm. She was talking about playing Rey again, and there were some interesting things. I forgot how long ago she played Rey.
It's been a while. It's crazy.
She's moved on in her career. She struggled after that. She finally started doing acting again because she started getting roles again.
They all did. A lot of them struggled after.
after the roaring success of Rise of Skywalker. I think we can all agree it's the worst Star Wars film ever.
I think we can also agree that Star Wars has the worst fan base. Like, the worst fans. Quote-unquote fans.
We'll get to the Acolyte, because I have some weird thoughts about that one. But she also was saying when she played Rey, she was the youngest person on set.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's going to be weird, having grown up, and then you have to go back and play this character you played as a kid. But yeah, I just wanted to debunk that rumor right now for anyone wondering that it's just going to be a solo film for now.
I am looking forward
to it. It's a Rey film.
I am looking forward to it. I'm excited. I want it to be good.
Yeah. I like the Jedi.
Yeah.
And I wonder how we can change them up and make them less weird.
Yeah. And we've been seeing a couple of, their TV shows have proven that it doesn't have to be a Skywalker story.
Nope.
To be good.
Rumors of Taylor Swift appearing in Deadpool have been debunked by many people, including the director.
The Deadpool rumors are starting to piss me off. I'm like, just watch it. The movie comes out, next month?
Yep.
Just wait. Just wait and watch it. My God. It's the same thing that happened with Spider-Man. Everyone's trying to, dig up all the rumors and find all the little secrets before it comes out. And I'm like, you're ruining it before it even happens.
Yeah, but they messed up that Spider-Man trailer. When Lizard is moving in a different direction than everyone else, you're like, what happened there?
Yeah. but still, it's like, just stop. Also, I don't think it helps that there's a million parody trailers and posters for Deadpool, and I'm like, it's getting to the point where I'm like, I know, I want to see it.
Someone made one. It's in Spanish, but it's basically like Beauty and the Beast.
I did see that.
And it's Deadpool and Wolverine dancing.
I think that's an official poster.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
They've been making a million of them.
Now, there are rumors that Lady Deadpool will be in there, and that she will actually be played by Blake Lively, who is Ryan Reynolds' wife.
Hooray!
Which I was like, that makes sense as a weird little cameo.
That'd be
also,
cute.
Juggernaut's supposed to be a cameo.
All we've heard is there's going to be 100 million cameos, and it's like, I want to see the story.
The guy who played Toad is coming back. I know he's in the movie. I didn't know he was Darth Maul.
Yeah, we learned that recently.
Yep, that was weird. So, yeah, Taylor Swift is not in Deadpool.
They might reference her at some point.
Maybe.
That's very Wade Wilson's.
The director was talking about it, and he was just like, yeah, that weird football thing that everyone saw, where all, it's Taylor, it's Ryan, it's Hugh, and the director.
Yeah.
They were just there watching the game. They didn't expect to run into each other.
Yeah, it wasn't that they were there as a party. It's that's just the booth where all the celebrities go.
Yeah, that's what happened there. That's what he was saying. Rebel Moon's extended cuts will debut on Netflix August 2nd. Mm-hmm. The first film is over 3 hours. It's 3 hours and 20-something minutes. The second film is 2 hours and 50 minutes. Together, they're 6 hours and 21 minutes. So Zach lied to us, and he ended up shoving 21 more minutes into this thing.
I hope with all my heart that it's good.
It really could be one of the greatest sci-fi things ever.
It so could be. It has so much potential.
It does. Doing that review on the first one, and I can't wait to go back and do the review for the second one, but I was like, there's stuff here where I'm like, it is magical. You got it all going here, but then you just focus on the wrong parts.
They so do.
I know he has a new animated series coming out about Norse mythology.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
I am.
Because the last time Netflix came out with something like that, it was Greek.
Blood of Zeus.
And it was not good.
But we are going to get that Warriors of Rohan thing.
You talking about Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll skip ahead in my script. Don't worry.
Sorry.
We got our first images of the upcoming anime Lord of the Rings film. This is a Japanese anime production team working with Warner Brothers, where Peter Jackson and Fran Walsh will be the executive producers.
Hell yeah.
So they are overseeing the whole thing. They got Andy Serkis to present the footage, even though he has nothing to do with it.
Well, you know.
But it makes sense because he's also... They just announced the search for Gollum.
And he's cool.
He's Gollum, and he's going to be the director of the new movie. What was it? December 13th theatrical release. It'll be 2.5 hours long.
Hell yeah.
It is about the war between Rohan and the Dundalings, focusing on the daughter of the king, Rohan King Helm Hammerhand. Sorry.
Helm Hammerhand, yeah.
A lone survivor of the carnage. It is the first Lord of the Rings adaptation to be led by a female character, unnamed in the original book. She has been called Hera.
Yeah, there's a like an apostrophe in the middle of it, so I don't know if that changes the Hera anywhere.
It's over the E.
Yeah.
And she'll be voiced by
Gaia Wise.
It's Gaia.
I don't know who that is.
Me either. But cool. Women should be part of Lord of the Rings.
I'm excited. I can't wait for all the like Twitter gremlins to be like, they're wokeifying my Lord of the Rings.
Well,
boo.
I found some posts about the movie, and I was like, I wonder what the people are saying, and it was mostly positive.
Hell yeah.
There are people going like, no, this is what I want. I want an 80s style anime Lord of the Rings. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We were talking about the Rankin Bass adaptation of The Hobbit.
Yes.
Which is all animated, and it was animated by a Japanese team.
Yeah.
And when I was looking at these images, I was like, oh, they are inspired by that same style.
Maybe.
I think so. It would make sense to try and tie them all kind of back together to each other.
That would be cool.
It's just a story telling it's just a different way to tell the same story.
There's so much in the world of Lord of the Rings. It's crazy that we haven't stretched out to those other stories yet.
Yeah, my biggest problem with Lord of the Rings is after the end of the Third Age, there's nothing really to talk about.
There's
there is a Fourth Age.
Yeah, all that peace.
Yeah, and I'm like, come on, we started with one of the biggest bad guys, Morgoth, and then his servant Sauron, who rises to power.
Yeah.
And then after Sauron's finally truly defeated, it's over.
Well, it's the kind of thing of like, what kind of villain do you get after Sauron?
You-
Now that we've beaten Satan himself,
Look.
everyone else is going to be kind of lame in comparison.
I would take a page out of Kathleen Kennedy's book and make another trilogy about the rise of Sauron. Again.
Great. I don't know how. We need to get Oscar Isaac. I don't know how, but somehow.
Sauron has survived.
Sauron survived.
Here's an interesting thing. Paramount Studios has ended talks with Skydance. They had a month long of exclusive negotiations, so Paramount wasn't talking to anyone. Mm-hmm. Only Skydance. Yeah. And it started out very favorable until at some point they started really disagreeing about how money should flow and
what?
Who...
Money's the problem?
Yeah.
Who could have guessed?
And who gets certain rights back or whatever. Mm-hmm. So now they've effectively killed that, which means Sony, who was the next in turn, can come in with their offer, and maybe Warner Brothers Discovery can come back with their offer.
Maybe.
But right now, Paramount is suffering. We were just on the app. There's nothing going on there.
So much nothing. Oh my god.
There's no new Yellowstone.
Nope.
Which is crazy to me, because that's like their biggest thing.
Ghosts has been over for a while.
Yep.
I don't have anything.
Now, with that being done, Sony just recently bought Alamo Drafthouse.
I heard about this.
So these are movie theaters, dine-in movie theaters. Mm-hmm. Okay. There's only 25 of them in all of the United States.
If people have high praise,
yes,
I've only heard good things.
I've heard multiple people talk about the one in Tempe. Mm-hmm. The thing I didn't understand, I was like, wait. There's a law in place that prevents filmmaking companies, these major studios, from owning exhibition.
Distribution?
Not distribution. They get distribution. They don't get exhibition.
Sony's so weird because it has so many avenues for it.
Yes. But that law that I'm talking about was passed in 1948. It was to stop the monopoly of this. Mm-hmm. We learned about it in film school. It was because at a time, only certain theaters would show you certain films, and then they would just keep those films in there.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't go, you would go to a Warner Brothers or RKO film.
Yep.
And that would be it. That's all you get.
I guess, yeah, with the invention of streaming, those kind of monopolies aren't really a thing much anymore.
Well, so Paramount, of course, back again, was crying a river in 2020 and decided to challenge this monopoly, in which the FCC came forward and said, no, it makes sense now to change it because the environment for filmmaking has changed so much that it doesn't make sense for them to be able to sustain themselves like this.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So yeah, that monopoly got overturned.
Nice.
And Sony is the first one to actively buy a functioning theater company.
And figures.
Franchise?
Figures they went with the, like, most highly rated theaters.
The CEO of Alamo said Sony is committed to showing multiple different films. They're not just going to show you Sony films.
That is cool.
And
What all Tula? Want to watch only Madam Web?
Yeah. And I was like, it's because they have nothing else to do. No, that's really cool of them. And the other one I was reading about was Amazon a few years ago, after this came into effect, bought a chain of theaters in LA that they are trying to rework as Amazon theaters.
Okay.
But they haven't done it yet. They just bought them and they're just empty shells right now.
You know, a lot of people don't like the movie-going experience anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe this could help. Maybe this is a good thing. Maybe this could, like, reinvent the movie-going experience. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know how you can make it better. You could probably make it worse.
Make it cheaper. That could help.
This week, The Boys Season 4 will return, and they announced that Season 5 will be the end of it.
Oh!
Thank God. I don't like that show.
It's, yeah, it just didn't do anything for me. We tried.
We did.
I wanted to like it.
I like The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And it's by the same creator.
I like, what's his name? The actor. Keith Urban. Carl Urban.
Yeah.
Keith Urban's a singer, I think.
Yeah.
Carl Urban. So there's things I wanted, but it was just too dang sad.
It was. And Homelander is a rapist. And I was like,
And he's still alive.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't care for him.
He just sounds like the new version of Cersei from Game of Thrones. And I already sat through Game of Thrones, binged the whole thing, and waited patiently for her to get her comeuppance, and she never did.
Nope. So Disney announced that they have casted their live-action Moana.
Yeah.
She is a Polynesian girl.
Uh-huh.
And I thought that was really cool that they're actively doing this.
This is so weird that we're getting live-action Moana and Moana 2 very close to each other. Very weird.
Iger said he was going to focus on sequels and remakes.
You have only Moana? That feels like that was a mistake.
I wonder if it has to do with Dwayne.
Maybe.
Which Dwayne recently got hurt on his new film, that wrestling film.
Oh.
He messed up his elbow, and he said the pain feels good. And I was like, okay, this guy's psychotic.
Okay. So Dwayne he's coming back as Maui in Moana 2, right?
Yep.
And he also wants to be Maui in live action Moana.
Yes, he'll be both.
That does sound like him with his vanity projects.
Both of these projects were announced after the failure of Black Adam.
Yeah.
If you look at the timeline, little interesting there.
Unique. Also, okay, all right. Listen to me, Disney. I have a bone to pick with you. I don't want a prequel to The Lion King. I want a sequel.
It's a prequel sequel.
No. I like a third one. I want to see her, Kiara, and Kofu's kids. That's what I want. Do that. I don't care about Mufasa as a baby. I know what happens to Mufasa. He dies. A stampede stomps him to death. Long live the king.
And then sad news for all Power Ranger fans. Netflix was working on a live-action series.
Oh, really?
And they decided to just not go forward with it.
Dang. Why? Power Rangers, Transformers, and another one. They have, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They have the most dedicated fan bases ever. That seems like easy money.
2 of those are Hasbro.
Yeah.
And so Hasbro has said with Power Rangers that they're going to go find a different partner.
What is Hasbro doing?
Making toys, what they do.
No, they had My Little Pony. That was one of the biggest things in the world.
What's their next big movie?
Yeah.
Transformers 1, which will be an animated film, theatrically released.
Okay.
And then they're working on a live-action Transformers X G.I. Joe.
Okay, you have more than just Transformers, though.
Yeah, G.I. Joe.
No.
Nah, this bummed me out because I loved the live-action remake of Power Rangers. Was that 2016?
Yeah, it's been so
2017?
long now that they're definitely not doing the sequel.
Yeah, no, they already said it's dead.
It's such a
and
shame.
I'm like, that was a really good movie.
It was. Everyone made fun of it, and I don't know why. Oh, this is goofy. Of course it's goofy.
What, you mean...
It's Power Rangers.
You mean a group of high school teenagers getting intergalactic powers to fight monsters is a weird concept?
And
What do you think Power Rangers was?
They don't even put the suits on until the end. Yeah,
Because they have to-
because they weren't ready yet.
And they do wear their suits before that.
Uh-huh.
Because they're doing their training.
Yeah.
They were training to build up to that big moment to fight Rita and Goldar.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
And the moment they show up in their suits and they're walking through the ship,
Also,
it's one of the greatest shots I've ever seen.
Rita and Goldar was awesome.
Yes.
What a smart way of doing that.
The way they just terrorized that town. Mm-hmm. So now we're off to box office trolls.
Box office trolls. Wahoo! Is Garfield still number 1?
No,
Oh, thank goodness.
it was dethroned by Bad Boys Ride or Die.
What is that?
It's Bad Boys.
What is that?
Bad Boys 4.
I don't know what Bad Boys is.
What?
I don't... What? Me? What is that?
Will Smith, Martin Lawrence,
Oh.
they're cops.
Yeah.
They're buddy cops. They get into crazy fights.
Every single time, I just assumed it was an old movie.
They were old movies when we were kids.
Well, good for them. Good job. You dethroned Garfield.
Yeah.
And its 3rd week.
Yeah.
Be proud.
Garfield's number 2. Both of these movies are Sony. Interesting enough.
Yeah.
Number 3 is If.
Still standing.
Yep. Number 4, The Watchers.
Oh, that one came out. Ah, that's that new M. Night Shyamalan one. Have you seen the trailers for it?
Yeah, but it's M. Night Shyamalan.
It's so hit or miss.
It's more missed than you might
Usually
think.
miss.
Number 5, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Uh-huh.
Number 6, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. I learned something recently about this. Furiosa came out Memorial Day weekend, and it performed so bad. There hasn't been that bad of a box office for a movie to come out on that weekend since the 50s.
Damn. Well, there's so much. Okay, so is the movie good? No
Yeah.
one's talking about it.
No one saw it, obviously.
That's the problem.
But the reviews are like, no, it's just as great as the last Mad Max.
The thing is, they spent way too much money on it. Is the first problem. And second, no one can afford to go to the theaters. And there's so many problems around the theaters. And it's expensive to go to the theater. So of course it's doing that. That should tell the industry that they need to start doing things different.
Yes. Number 7, The Fall Guy. It just keeps dropping.
It keeps falling.
Yeah. Number 8, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring re-release.
Oh, that happened this week?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Along with number 9, The Two Towers.
Nice.
And number 10, The Strangers Chapter 1.
Oh, that one's still around?
Yep.
Well, okay.
It's only been 4 weeks.
Uh,
Okay. We haven't watched much new stuff because we're still doing your damn Disney project.
We sure are.
But we watched Beauty and the Beast. We finally got to Renaissance.
We're in the good movies.
And I haven't watched Beauty and the Beast. Maybe. It's been over 10 years.
Yeah.
And I didn't bother with the live action.
No.
Did not care. But rewatching it, oh my god, it's an amazing film. Mm-hmm. It is just, it's like better than most films are ever.
It's good pacing. I do have a couple gripes with it.
Yeah. Anything you want to share?
No, I'll wait for my video to come out.
Okay.
But it could be better. But unfortunately, the things that I have problems with are also very fun. So even though it's like, this could be like more tightly done, it's still entertaining, as it currently is.
I liked Adam, the Beast.
No, and no one in the entire movie
Calls him by his name.
To the very end.
But him learning to get over his anger issues and just that hate that he had. Mm-hmm. Because everyone else in the castle, all the magical characters, are like, no, dude, you gotta actually try and get along with her.
There's a very nice subtle. It's not super subtle, but it's a nice like evolution of his character. When we first meet him, he's wearing like a cape and pants, and he's crawling around on all fours like an animal.
Yep.
And as we go on, he wears more and more clothes, more and more properly, and by the very end, he's in like a whole suit with a cravat, and he's standing upright like a human would. And it's like, oh, his growth.
Magical moments, awesome songs, great characters all around. You got problems with Lumiere. I don't want to hear it. But just rewatching, I was like, God, I can remember why I loved this as a kid, and now I love it as an adult.
It's a big one.
We got to The Lion King.
We did.
Dude, the first 30 minutes, I wish they had just sped that up.
Really?
I hate it.
Really?
Yeah, everything building up to the gorge, the ravine, it just takes too long.
I get it, but it also is establishing their characters, like their carefree attitudes. Also establishes Scar and his hyenas and their personalities. I think the important thing is it establishes like Mufasa and Simba's relationship and like the strength of their bonds together. Because Mufasa saves him from the hyenas and then scolds him, but then it turns into a nice friendly moment between them still.
Yeah.
So that's important.
But I don't care about the Pride Lands. In fact, that's almost non-important.
Almost. It's the first time a Disney movie that has like a ruling force has actually talked about like the law of the lands.
Yeah.
About the concept of being a king.
And then, he teaches you the circle of life. Mm-hmm. Cool, but Zazu.
And you sit there and say that you would rather see The Morning Report, that song that got cut, that would be Zazu's song.
Yep.
That would just drag that all out further.
Yeah, it's still good.
No.
It's still a great song, man.
It's not.
But yeah, watching The Lion King for like the 300th time, I'm like, this does not hit with me anymore.
Wow. Blasphemer.
The ending's not as cinematic as I remember it.
The slow motion lion fight?
It looks terrible.
It was a unique choice.
It was a choice.
It was a choice. The thing was, like, it was weird because Scar was never going to be a battler anyway. Scar is skinny and cunning. He doesn't have the brute strength. So the fact that they had to do a sort of fight was always going to be a little weird.
Yeah. I also think Simba's smaller than Mufasa.
He is. Mufasa was huge.
Yeah.
Mufasa was massive.
So, yeah, between Beauty and the Beast and Lion King, I prefer Beauty and the Beast. Now, we haven't gotten to Mulan or Hercules or Tarzan.
No, not yet.
But they'll show up later. I'm just like, does the Lion King... Is it as good as we all think it is?
I think it was revolutionary, more than anything.
What was revolutionary about it?
The soundtrack actually had, like, cultural relevance to it. Because, like, when we were watching Aladdin, for example, and it's like, Broadway musicals, and I'm like, you're in, like, Arabia. You have so much culture here with different instruments and stuff. You go with something that has some sort of cultural significance, not just Broadway musical.
Were you making fun of Aladdin singing about his bread?
Yes. 100% yes. Street rat, I don't buy that.
It's just a little snack, guys.
You're in Agrabah, not New York. Sound like Agrabah. Meanwhile, with Lion King, there's 5 different African languages throughout the film.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Very cool.
It's well done. The Acolytes, see episode 3.
It was neat.
It's again, to use that word, choice.
Wasn't as good as the first 2.
No, God no. To decide to tell the origin story on the 3rd episode.
All in one. I would have peppered this throughout the first 2 episodes. 2 to 3 episodes.
Did we have to see all that?
They hinted at it so much in the first 2 episodes that it was weird that they just showed it to us in the 3rd one.
And they didn't show us everything.
They could have just...
There's things that I'm like, this doesn't make sense.
Honestly, that could have been episode 1. And then
I would have never watched the show.
Yeah,
I'm going to be honest. When it began, and I see a lot of comments about it, where people are like, the first 8 minutes doesn't even feel like a Star Wars film. The little girl playing... Osha and May? Mm-hmm. Because it's the same.
No, they're 2 different girls.
They're the same.
No, they're not.
Did you not see them moving the camera constantly and their weird blocking?
They looked different.
No, they're the same.
They had different faces.
No, they did not.
They definitely did. The older one, yeah, grown-up version of them is the same woman. But those were 2 different kids. I'm gonna look it up, because I feel like I'm going crazy.
I know kid actors aren't great actors, but oh my god. Emote just a little more.
Yeah.
When she was crying at the end, because she finds out everyone's dead, even though she survived through that whole thing. And she's talking to Master Soul?
Yes, who I like. He's cool.
And the actor is actually crying. And I could see him just staring at her, just looking for any response out of her. Terrible. The whole weird witch thing going on there, I mean, I don't put it past Star Wars to do that, because isn't that where...
Yeah, they've been doing witches for a while.
Dathomir?
Yeah, Dathomir.
That's the planet where Darth Maul's from, and the women there are witches. They're force-wielding witches.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I see that.
They are 2 different people.
They are?
The kids, yeah. When you see them side by side, it's a lot easier to tell. When they're not moving, also.
Okay.
They are.
So I was wrong about that.
I thought I was going crazy.
One of them was better.
Yes.
Slightly. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, the one who played Osha?
Yeah. She wasn't as good.
That was Oshi.
No, it's Osha. Because I was like, you're an OSHA violation. And I was like, that's a unique fantasy choice for your name.
Yeah, in May.
Uh-huh. It's like, who does that? Oh, it is. It is Star Wars, I think.
No, it's Rebel Moon.
Your name is like a normal name. They just spell it stupid. Like, it's like Trevor, but it's not Trevor. It's Trai with an umlaut. VQR.
My favorite Star Wars name of all time is Ben.
Yeah.
We don't even try. It's just Ben. What's his real name? Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
But that old man Ben.
He
crazy.
Old man Ben.
And then the next Ben, it's just Ben Solo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's just normal.
No wonder why he goes by Kylo Ren.
It wasn't a great episode, Acolyte.
No, it wasn't.
But it wasn't terrible, I would say. They're doing something different.
They are. I'm telling you, pieces of that were missing.
I'm just pissed at it's just all the racists and homophobes on Twitter whining and crying because there's no straight white men in my Star Wars. It's like, so suck it up. Who cares?
Why is... I'm in space. Why the fuck would I care about that?
Also, yeah, like, what does it matter?
I think it's a little weird and they didn't explain the actions of the mothers.
Yeah.
Why did one use the Force to impregnate the other?
Well, they didn't really explain it. Like,
but they were talking about the threads.
Yeah, the angry one, the horny toad looking one.
Who, by the way, apparently, if you look, she's not there at the end when they're all dead.
Yeah, she might be the Dark Master.
Could be.
She said she carried them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one, the one that they were calling Mother, she said she created them. So,
and then you... Okay, so we just have to accept that this is now a new thing. This made me wonder about Anakin and Smee.
Yeah, is that her name?
Isn't it?
Is it Smee? like Captain Hook's little buddy, Smee. I saw people talking about this before. The thing was that the witches likely had... It is Shmee. The witches likely had, like, a whole ritual and process that went into the making. Like, they wanted to make children. That was their goal. There was no one made Anakin with Shmee. He was just made out of the Force. Like, the witches had to go out of their way to do this. It just happened with Anakin. From what we know.
From what we know, but now we can retcon that.
We could.
There's enough room to do it.
I don't think it really changes
And then
much.
it would explain why she's just kind of out there alone on Tatooine, because she could have been one of these witches hiding.
She could have been, but, you know... It's almost like it's a fantasy world where things could just happen.
And then when the Jedi show up and they're like, show us the children, they're like, you can't have our children, we won't let you take them. And the Jedis are like, we don't take children. Yes, you do.
The Jedi I'm seeing a lot of people discussing how the point of Acolyte is to highlight how the Jedi are often wrong in their quest to do things, quote-unquote, the right way.
Yeah.
And you've been telling me that Souls actor was inspired by Qui-Gon a lot.
Yes.
And that makes a lot of sense.
And he plays him so much like Qui-Gon.
He does.
The way he's talking to Osha is the same way Qui-Gon talked to Anakin.
And Qui-Gon's my favorite because of his, like, he's so steadfast with the rules that he goes against the rules.
Yeah. Well, he's an outside thinker.
Yeah.
He didn't need the council. He could have just done his own thing.
Also, the council were always bad guys. Did you notice? They were always the bad guys.
They were always making the bad decisions, which led to the downfall of the Republic and the Jedi Order. Mm-hmm. They let the bad guy literally walk in with them.
Yeah, and they made all the worst decisions, which pushed Anakin down that path.
That's the funniest part. They are just constantly telling him, no, you suck, you can't do this,
you're too angry, you need to stop, we don't want this.
Yep. We're not happy that your mom was killed and you just killed an entire tribe of indigenous people.
Yeah, there's never any compromise, you know?
And then he goes to Palpatine, and Palpatine's like, dude, I'm sorry. I wish things would be better. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you about great power. See,
this is why I wanted the Grey. This is why Rey's story should have been about the Grey. But no. We had to do Palpatine again.
So, that... Through the beginning parts of that episode, I was like, this is just a weird Star Wars thing.
I didn't expect it to be the whole episode.
I was really hoping it wasn't. And where it ended, I was like, are we going back to the current timeline, or are we just going to keep telling this story to get back to the current timeline?
I was telling you, I was a little worried when, like, May says her goal is to kill the 4 Jedi Masters.
Yes.
Who were there. And she kills 2 of them within the first 2 episodes. And there's 8 episodes. And so I'm like, so what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do to stretch out between these last 6 episodes?
I'm willing to bet it's gonna be hard to kill Soul.
It probably, but like, what are we gonna do?
Dude, when he pulled out his sword, the saber,
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna turn it on. And I was like, you guys might be in big trouble.
I do really like Soul. I like
And
it.
he didn't. He handed it to Osha because he wanted to show her what it was. And then I was like, what if she turns it on?
Yeah, for a second.
I
She
know,
like
just-
she like was holding it as soon as she like tilted it.
Yep.
And
I saw the tilt and I was like, dude, I'd be freaking out.
he was in Squid Game. Did you know that?
Was he?
Yeah.
Nice.
He's cool.
And we got back to Jujutsu Kaisen.
We did.
It took us a lot of time. We've watched a lot of other anime and other things.
Yes, yes.
I like the show.
I do too.
But I'm going to drop this right here. And I'm going to tell you something about Jujutsu Kaisen that you fans are going to want to fight me over. And the reason why you're going to want to fight me over is because you know I'm right.
It's so true.
And I had this realization that Jujutsu Kaisen is just the new flavor of Naruto.
It's
To the T.
almost 1-to-1.
Yes.
Like-
it's not a 3-to-7 ratio, buddy.
And the more I think about it, okay. So we're at the part where they're in the middle of their like school competition thing,
Yes.
which is an awful lot like the tournament, the school competition, when Naruto met Gaara and Rock Lee.
Well, they knew about Rock, but that's when he gets really developed. The forming of the three of them,
Yep.
2 boys and a girl.
He's the high-spirited one, the moody, broody boy.
Yep.
And then the girl
sassy
who's
girl.
tough but likes her cute, pretty things.
Yep. The main character,
Yuji.
yeah, I brought up their names.
Yuji Itadori.
Yuji is literally possessed by a demon / curse.
And what did Naruto have? Nine-tailed
fo-
fox demon.
7-tailed fox?
Nine-tailed fox.
6-tailed fox?
Nine-tailed fox.
1-tailed fox. They have their teacher, Gojo,
Who, let's be honest,
looks just like Kakashi.
that's just Kakashi.
He covered both of his eyes, but he acts very much the same way.
Yes, that devil may care, who gives a fuck attitude.
Yep. They go out on their first dangerous assignment where they barely make it out alive.
And I was thinking about it. So in Naruto, it's when they go to the village hidden in the mist.
Yep.
And this is where we first see Naruto displaying his full power potential with the Nine-Tailed Fox Demon coming out for the first time. And guess what happens in Jujutsu Kaisen?
Yep.
It's a Susanoo? Susanoo?
Sukuna.
Sukino.
Jesus. Sukuna.
Popping out for the first time, showing his full power and potential. It's almost exactly the same.
Sukuna, I like him. He is my favorite character.
He's definitely threatening. He lives up to it.
The way he talks to other curses, and he's like, "Huh, we're friends, we're both curses," and then turns around and just immediately kills them. I'm like, I kind of like this guy. I like how evil he is, yet he seems to really like the main character.
Like, he knows he can manipulate him.
Can he?
He thinks so. At least I think he thinks so.
I think they're both growing stronger together, and this
that's-
might be a yin and yang balance within one's soul.
That's the very cool thing, is as Yuji gets stronger, the main villain is
getting
also
stronger.
getting stronger.
Yep.
It's a very double-edged sword. And then their second plot was a longer arc where there was a bad guy who got away in the end, which was
Mahito?
just like Orochimaru.
Mahito? I'm just
Mojito?
gonna call him Mojito.
Yes, like the beverage.
Yes. He was annoying.
Yeah, he was much.
Just constantly his inner monologue about like, oh, if only I did this, then I would be like this. And
Usually I like their inner monologues because, like, we saw one with Panda, and he was breaking down, like, the guy he was fighting. He's like, he just did that, so he can't do this other move, so his only option is this move or that move. And so this is what I think I should do. And
he was fighting Mekamaru.
yes. And usually that's what it is. It's just them seeing what the enemy did, understanding what the enemy could do next, and deciding what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. Which also helps, like, remind you of everyone's abilities, and also shows you how, like, attentive they are to the fight at hand.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Mojito was way too much with it.
Yeah, no, the supporting cast has been really fun and interesting. The world, trying to learn what they're talking about.
It's a very complex but well-defined set of rules.
Yeah, at least it's drawn out. Mm-hmm. You know, and they're like, oh, you can do this with it, or you could do that with it, or you need to think of your... What was the Toro?
Is that a person?
The big ripped guy that he...
Tado.
Tado. And he's talking about how, if you think about it, our mind, body, and soul exist in this world together, and therefore it should always be one thing.
Yeah. It's very well explained.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cool. I like it a lot.
It has its funny moments. There's a lot of blood. I like that.
Mm-hmm. That is the big difference between this and Naruto. Is that this one, it's like not afraid to go all out
When
with the crazies.
when Yuji was breaking through Mahito's dimension, and he finally cracked through, and everybody's like, "What is going on?" And then Sukuna shows up,
Yeah.
and he's like, "I told you, you touched my soul." Yeah, and
It was so cool. I really like it.
the bad guys are interesting. They got their own thing going on. Yeah, I can't wait to finish it. We're almost done with season 1.
Yes. And then we can watch season 2 somewhere.
It's on Crunchyroll.
Is it dubbed on Crunchyroll?
I don't know, but I wouldn't mind.
We'll find out. We'll see.
Okay.
But now there's one last thing to talk about.
What?
Dragon Age Veilguard.
Why didn't you stop me? Okay.
I didn't realize we...
It doesn't belong in this section.
It doesn't. I didn't realize we had entered the section until it was too late.
Go ahead.
We watched that trailer. I'm so excited. I have been waiting for this game since like 2013. I was still living with my parents at home. Like, I was still in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah! It's happening!
It looks terrible.
What do you mean it looks terrible?
The way the characters are designed, the world around them.
It's not gonna look that way.
The song they used, "We Could Be Heroes,"
Yeah.
and then changed it. It wasn't a good song to begin with.
It's not gonna look like that. Those teaser trailers never look like the game.
Yeah, they always look a little better.
They don't.
Yes,
they always
they do.
look completely different from what the characters actually look like.
Because they look better.
I
And
guess...
the game's going to look like poop.
I don't...
It's made by EA.
Well, I don't have stupid, impossible standards like you. Oh, I can't see every individual eyelash on my character.
Look.
Bad game.
I'm just going to say this. RE Engine beats everyone else.
I'm excited to because I just want it. And I don't have stupid, impossible standards.
No,
I
you
will
enjoy that
it.
Unreal Engine 5. That's, yeah, it's acceptable.
Why are you trying to ruin my mood?
I'm not ruining your mood.
You are. You're being poopy. Get the poopy out of here. I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm excited about the characters. I need to decide which character I want to date. I'm interested in the Necromancer currently. Yeah.
Yeah, you like those games, don't you?
But I don't know what their personalities are. So that's going to kind of play an important role.
Okay.
We'll see. I'm excited. We'll see. Varric's in it. Varric, you don't know him. He's in all the games. He's in the first. He's in the second and third games. He wasn't in the first one, if I don't remember. He's looking old. Varric was the older dwarf that we saw in the bar talking to the younger girl.
The guy who's trying to look like Thorn.
He's looking old. He didn't always look that way.
Okay.
He used to have orange hair.
So, there is a Jujutsu Kaisen demo for Cursed Clash, which I didn't know exists. I played it.
Was it the best game ever?
No, it was terrible. But if you want to know what it looks like, that also dropped with this, which I had wanted to get back to Jujutsu Kaisen, but playing the demo, I was like, no, I'm coming back.
Hell yeah.
And then more One Piece. That game's getting harder.
Yeah, you're
Yep.
at that part.
Yep. And then you got anything else?
Yeah, Ruby Reversed Fates, episode 1.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming out this week. 13th for patrons, 14th for everyone else. Yeah, I'm excited. I hope people like it.
So for patrons, it came out this day.
Yes.
Okay, so this weekend.
Yeah.
Nice, okay. Yeah, I'm still working on some projects. I got a few days off here, so I'm just been enjoying my life.
Nice.
Okay, everybody have fun, be safe, drink water. It's so hot.
Play Dragon Age. Don't listen to the naysayers. We all know what it looks like. It's fine. It's gonna be fun no matter what. These games have always been ugly. I'm gonna be real.
If they focus on gameplay and mechanics, world building, stuff like that, instead of graphics, I'll accept the graphic, lesser than graphics quality. But if the rest of that's not there, there's no excuse.
It's gotta be better than the third one. It's gotta be better than the first one.
It should always be better than the first one. Otherwise, there's no reason to make a sequel.
The first one's terrible.
Great. Okay. Thank you for listening. Hope you guys have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.